Well, joining us now to discuss that and other things is the Deputy Prime Minister. And are you acting Prime Minister at the moment?
Well, not really. He's in the country.
He's in the country, so you're deputy still. Thanks for coming in. Kia ora and good morning.
Good morning.
What is your reaction to this admission by Materia today that she lied to WINZ in order to get more money?
Yeah, I think it's pretty disappointing. I don't think people should lie to work and income. I think people work really hard in this country and pay their taxes, and we like having a social security system that supports those that can't support themselves, and they want it to be fair. And for that, we expect people to be honest and not cheating.
You were on a sole parent benefit yourself
Yeah.
back in the day for a number of years. Did you ever find yourself in a position where you lied to WINZ about your conditions?
No, I mean, I was off and on benefit. I had jobs, and I was always trying to get off when I was on because I wanted to work and didn't want to be on a benefit. But no, I didn't deliberately lie. I didn't lie to them as such about my circumstances.
Didn't deliberately lie?
Well, I didn't lie. I didn't lie to them about my circumstances to get more money.
She said this morning that was a choice that, that was the position that many were forced into, either to lie or to not put food on the table. That's what Materia today is saying. Do you accept that is the dilemma that faces some?
I remember hard times on the benefit, and I've never bought into that people choose to be there for life and, by their thousands, and that it's a great lifestyle, because it's not. It's actually incredibly hard. But I think that actually we have one of the best welfare systems in the world, one of the most generous. I certainly support the increases that we've recently announced, predominantly around the accommodation supplement, and of course we were the first ones to raise benefits last year, just acknowledging that it is really tight. But it's mutual obligations and it's fairness. I think we should be talking about the fact that they're taking away work obligations from beneficiaries as part of their policy. And I've got to be honest, that just completely horrifies me. And I think that would set us really a long way backward.
Well, let's talk about that. Why should people get a sanction if they miss a job interview or they don't fulfil some of the criteria that you've set, where in many situations it simply means that a child will go without?
So it's never for missing one job interview. It's always a warning system. There's always a series of circumstance. I can tell you for most of those that, if you like, receive a sanction, they never actually get any cut in the weekly amount they get, because
thousands do.
They reapply.
Yeah, but thousands do.
Yeah.
I've seen the numbers. There are thousands who get their benefits cut, aren't
We've equally, though, got the lowest number of sole parents that we've had since 1988. And those women and their children, they are predominantly women, are doing so much better off benefit, not just financially, but equally for the hope and everything that they've got in that household, your sense of self-worth. If you can work, you should be. And if you are on a benefit and you can be looking for work, then I think most New Zealanders expect there to be a mutual obligation that you're doing that.
Yeah, but people will see this and they'll want to see fairness, won't they? So if you don't turn up several times, right, for your job interview and you're on your benefit, you get your money cut, right? If it happens a number of times. What about an MP who doesn't turn up for work and is getting paid over $3,000 a week?
I think that's a very, very wide bow that you're pulling there.
Is it?
Because he
it's
is
public
working.
money.
No,
it's
he's just not
money.
fronting the media. But to say that he's not working is not true.
What's he doing,
And it's been
Todd
a few
Bartley?
weeks. Well, he's been certainly advocating on behalf of his electorate. He's still doing that work. He's still doing his electorate work and on behalf of constituents and things. The fact that he's not fronting the media doesn't mean that he's not doing his work.
Is he at Parliament?
Well, it's been recessed for the last week. For the 2 weeks before he wasn't.
Is he going to turn up to Parliament?
I would expect him to be there. We've got 3 more weeks after, we've got recess this week and then about 3 more weeks. And I certainly expect him to be there, and he's been talking to the whips about when he'll come back.
But to have him saying that he's going to resign, his political career's over, he hasn't been at Parliament, so why should he be getting paid $3,000 a week plus of taxpayers' money? Is it fair?
I think it was 2 weeks, to be fair. And this was a young man who had a huge career and then went through that, that absolute week of where he had to resign and say he wouldn't be standing again at the electorate. So I think most people would give him a week, or, it was 6 days that he wasn't in Parliament, to be fair.
Well, they may do, but some people might look at someone who's in extremely difficult circumstances and misses a few interviews with WINZ and then has her benefit cut when they're struggling with a number of children and think, hey, maybe you should give them more of a fair go too.
I think we do give them a break. The difference is they can recomply literally within hours and not actually lose money, and that's what happens most of the time.
The difference is between someone who's on 160 odd K and someone who's right on the breadline, right?
Yeah, but you're actually saying that he's not turning up for work, and that's not true. It's been recessed for the last week, and he's not fronting to the media, and he doesn't actually have to do that. I mean, he has been doing his job in his electorate, and I expect to see him in the next 3 weeks in Parliament, and he'll do that sort of part of it. For those who have their benefits cut, the difference is they can recomply really easily, and as such get their benefit back.
20 seconds to the news. The referendum on the Maori seats. What's your position?
Yeah, look, we'll make our position known in the next few weeks. We haven't announced it this time.
We're for abolishing the Maori seats.
Yeah, we've always said there'll be a time when one hopes we don't have to have the separate Maori seats. I'm a Māori woman that stood in a general seat and won that. So I think that there'll be a time when we don't need specialist Maori seats, and
Thanks.
I'm not sure if
Speaking
it's
RNZ News at 8. Good morning, I'm Nicola Wright. The Greens co-leader says she's told